Breyty, and with rugby's greatest rivalry coming up, the All Blacks in town very soon. I mean, there was a joke a couple of weeks ago at Craven Week. If you think you have made it in life, Breyty played against Jonah Lomu.
Yeah.
I mean, the absolute giant. That was that was a challenge in itself, and also a challenge to show that you can play in the space.
You can stand up to him. You can stand up to him. So, I mean, iconic, you know, the late great Jonah Lomu, may his soul rest in peace. I played a couple of tests against him, and I think a lot of Springbok fans who follow rugby know that he never scored against us. He scored against everybody else except the Springboks. I'm not sure Brenty would have been able to stop him, but you know, I managed to.
Brenty, do you back yourself against Jonah Lomu?
Back in those days, I would have backed myself in front of everyone. but I do remember my first test. I think it was in Durban against the All Blacks. Yeah. And he came running up and down the side warming up, but he was staring straight at me. And I thought, and I just come off the bench and I'm looking at him, I was thinking, please don't come on. But no, he didn't come on there. But I played against him in another match. Yeah. It was a World 15 versus the All Blacks, well, the old retired All Blacks back a few years later. And shame, he was a good player and one of the best in the world.
And a gentleman off the field. I mean, I was very fortunate to talk to him a couple of times off the field, and soft-spoken, such a gentleman. Yeah. But speaking about pocket rockets, you know, the All Blacks had their own pocket rocket. I mean, Christian Cullen for me, he was, without a doubt, Ricky, it's somebody for me, you know, whenever they ask me who's your greatest opponent, Christian Cullen, he was absolutely outstanding. The man could swerve on the field, he could score tries, he had the anticipation of not many people who's got that, and he was just sublime in any game for the All Blacks. So we had a hard time sometimes, playing against him. But he was a special player, Christian Cullen.
The All Blacks were immense those days. I mean, you can just think back to those players that were playing. Yeah, and I mean, for me, exactly what you said. I mean, Christian Cullen was my icon when I was growing up, and point being is he still, I think, had such a good team around him, such a good understanding of his role, his stuck in and just the potential of what he did do was amazing. And I mean, it's what we're doing for our rugby players now. We're giving them. I'm loving seeing the new guys coming through. It doesn't matter about size. It doesn't matter about what they can do. It's like, geez, the excitement of seeing someone new. Yes. Oh, what has he got?
Well, you guys all did that for us as youngsters. So, I mean, you guys made us believe as small players. Apples, you, the rugby's greatest rivalry, you were part of that test in Soweto, FNB Stadium. I want to know, 90,000 people, it's a lot of people in comparison to being in Dunedin, Wellington, the House of Pain. How was that, seeing all the South Africans again, and the All Blacks, of course, in Soweto?
No, I think it was amazing. I think that time it was just 2010 with the World Cup, and I remember driving and you see this, because Soccer City is an iconic stadium. You drive past it and you see it. It's in the middle, almost like in the middle of nowhere, and you're like, I'm going to play there today. And as you drive into the bus and you go like for your warm-up, you're like, 90,000 people. It was unreal. It was also even more special. It was John Smith's 100 game. We didn't win it, but I mean, it was unreal. They had Carter, they had McCall, but we just played out of our skins until the last minute where Nonu came through and they passed to Israel Dek. But I think that experience is going to be even now.
Shame, is that the one where John missed that last tackle on Nonu?
Oh, trust Brent.
Don't tell Barney that.
I remember watching that. I'm thinking, shame.
He was devastated.
Like, I mean, of course.
Because I was at the back and I saw him coming, and I'm like, because Nonu still, he got him, but he got out of it, and he was running with one boot.
Yeah.
So John got the boot at least.
Yeah.
Little souvenir.
I remember that game, eh?
Yeah. He was devastated.
I have to say that one game, I mean, I played a
Yes,
I was
you played
fortunate
a few.
enough to play a few against the mighty All Blacks back in the day. But one game that stuck with me also in Ellis Park Cracker, where I witnessed a hat-trick from Marius Joubert. You know, that was quite a special one. I must say, Marius was the second guy after Raymond who scored a...
was on the bench.
He was on the bench, who scored a hat-trick. I mean, I remember John de Villiers was on the other wing, and then the Bedberry. And we had a good team, but it was a fast-paced game. I remember the score was something like in the 40s, you know, for both teams. And
But that
it was
basically
good
won
to
us the Tri-Nation.
yes, it was good to witness that kind of
2004.
kind of moment from Juba.
Brent, I mean, you faced the All Blacks, standing there in front of the haka. And it's always lovely to hear different players' opinion. What are you channeling right there, standing in front of them, and I mean, yeah, tapping into?
Yeah, I mean, geez, it's surreal when you look back, actually. But when you're standing there, who do you look at? That's how you must look at your guys in the eye. I unfortunately played a few tests against them, and I actually didn't beat them. My worst test match was against them in Pretoria, but I'll blame it on something else.
Yeah.
But
it's time to get it off your chest.
No,
if you want.
No, but my week before it was my best test. So it's just amazing how everything ebbs and flows.
What a difference a week makes.
Exactly. But long story short, it's when you're standing in front of that and you really know it's game time. This is why you playing rugby, you're playing against the best. Especially those days, you knew that there was nothing bigger in that you were going to experience. So you just cherish that moment, and just once again, you just hope that you just don't make mistakes.
Yeah.
And I mean, that test match in Pretoria, I remember Corner Cricket, I think we were still 0-0, and he broke through, and I was right next to him, and all I had to do was catch the ball and put it down. He popped it up, and I was just 2 meters from him, and I dropped it. And I still remember that's a mistake, and that goes back in my memory bank as, just wish things were different back then, and but anyway, you don't live in regret, eh?
No, I mean, coming this great series coming up, the greatest rivalry. I think the whole world is in anticipation of what could happen. It's going to be Hollywood. It's going to be
Spice it up now.
Blockbuster. But for me, I think the day you become a Bok, you like check the calendar. Yeah, when are we playing the All Blacks?
All Blacks.
So that's what every Bok, and then sadly a lot of the Boks who's come in and only had, let's say, 2-3 tests, unfortunately didn't have that privilege of playing against the All Blacks. So it's a massive honor, and it's a massive privilege, and I think we can't wait for the fireworks to start, because the mighty All Blacks, obviously the last couple of years, they had a bit of a decline, let's be honest, and suddenly, looking back now, new coaching staff, new belief, new players, there's a bit of an upward trend. So it makes it spicy. It makes it really spicy, and I think that's going to be so cool.
Gio, how was your record against the All Blacks? Is it something you don't want to?
Same as Brent's. I was there.
You were there. But some moments that stood out for you of your time against the All Blacks.
No, I think, like you're saying, the haka. I think there is still one of the most sacred things in rugby that probably needs to be protected, because that's whether it fuels them or what, it's still a challenge for us. It's still what every rugby player wants to face. But I think for me, standing there is it's the challenge, and I've read about it, the challenge. And for me, it was almost like they challenging me, who's representing my hometown. So they challenging every single person in Houston to come and play now, and that responsibility I took. And obviously the broader South Africa, but to take it to a personal level is like every person on my street. And I mean, I grew up in the late 80s, early 90s. So I mean, that was the rugby we got was Bledisloe Cup. There wasn't, the Springboks only started playing in 1992. They started playing international rugby. So I mean, half or 3/4 of Boston was either Australians or All Blacks. So now you're representing whoever the Springboks that's left there. But then there's also, that's my people. And now you're standing there in this All Blacks is chilling. That test you used to watch at 3 o'clock in the morning, where you woke up at Mnet, and then that resembles back in all those people that were sitting in the city and watching this game. I'm representing them, and they are challenging us. I think that was for me the personal part I took. I could never take that into the field and beat them.
You took it, and you left it all out there, I think.
And I mean, you talking about that, just to add onto that, if you look at the history, and I mean, I won't go into depth now, but let's be honest, when we played at Newlands, I played 1 or 2 games in Newlands. Thankfully, I was on the winning side as well. But half the stadium was All Black supporters, And I mean, look where we are now today. How many of those people have changed now, Because people can now identify to certain players, in this beautiful team of ours today. And for me, I think the All Blacks should be worried because there's not many supporters left in Cape Town. So they have to bust in some people because of what the team has done the last couple of years, you know. So it comes with the history, but I mean, we won't forget the history, but you know, it's good to see that the new generation can identify with this team of us.
And like that other thing that the guys say now about playing on TV, for us, for me, it was a massive thing. Like you say, making mistakes. Like I could make a mistake in Houston, it's fine. But now, I mean, these kids are now playing. My son is 11 years old. They're playing on the SuperSport schools app already, so he can see himself.
Yes.
Like back in the day, my first time I could see myself was on the biggest stage, not the biggest stage, but at Newlands. And now all my friends at home is watching. And if I miss a tackle in front of them, it's going to be a big thing. So also that psyche of I'm starting on TV, don't make mistakes. What am I supposed to do? So I think that also played a part. And for us growing up, haven't seen this. So now the first time you see the Springboks, they play at Alice Park against the All Blacks and then at Newlands against the Aussies. So now the first time you see these guys and you're like, oh, we actually have a team. Because for us in Austin, I won't say we were ignorant, but what we didn't see, we didn't believe, or we couldn't see. We only saw the All Blacks and we saw the Australians, and that's what we saw. And now suddenly you say, oh, also have a team. We also have a team. And then only now it starts, and then to latch onto it, now you start like, oh, we have a team. Can I play for the team? Maybe not, because that time the colors of the faces was just one color. Later on, oh, you're too small. So that's where the journey started. You could never see our team play, and when you saw them play, you're like, okay, can I play? No. No one identifies with me up until a stage where a coach like now came through and he says, listen here, there's a place for all of you.
Yeah. Ricky, can you believe it? Me and Brent, so we were roommates at some point, you know, especially overseas.
Never the same. I was never the same afterwards.
I would love to hear.
So I just want to get one thing out
Please get it on the table.
Of my chest, you know. So Brent, he was
Brent is getting very nervous.
He was gas lighting a lot in the room.
That's what they fought.
I thought his nickname was, his real nickname wasn't the Pocket Rock, it was Farty. Yeah. So I would just like him to apologize to me on camera.
Can we zoom in on this?
I couldn't sleep at night.
So every time when he stepped,
can you confirm this? Your face is saying one thing, then you are confirming.
So Brian, I roomed with Brian too. His first test match. He didn't say anything to say. No, but we did end up rooming in Scotland together. Always a privilege to share even a game with this man, legend of the.
Any moments that stood out for you on tour? Now you can expose Breyton if you want to as well. I mean, he started. Look at.
Breyton was a good guy. Yes, we just towed the line. We didn't want to do anything. The good old days, they got up to a little bit of mischief, but nothing serious happened. I mean, we sort of came into quite a professional era. It's got far more professional now, and it was quite controlled. I mean, Rudolf Straley was my first coach. He went through a little bit of a patch where, geez, you couldn't do anything. You literally couldn't even leave your room without being worried. So at the end of the day, it was quite controlled, and what we got to experience was just. I would have loved to have been playing in these days now. I mean, just seeing the way the whole team, every player is expressing themselves. They're playing with, I mean, who would have ever thought Cheslin Kolbe bumping over props and going after them, because yes, he knows what he can do, and I just love watching our players like that thrive.